Finally, a gas grill with thermostatic control, available only at Sam's Club. The new Members Mark Pro Series with patented thermostatic control. It offers users 2 ways to cook. Barbecue mode is traditional grilling with variable temperatures with users in control, while oven mode allows users to set a temperature from 225 degrees to 450 degrees. And the technology does the work of monitoring and adjusting to ensure precise firebox temperatures. We're talking about the Members Mark Pro Series with thermostatic control, now available at your local Sam Club store.
Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely, talented wife, Miss Southern Shell, Tyler over on the boards. We're fresh back from a squirrel cook-off.
That was the first thing I was going to talk about.
Was it really?
Yeah. World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off.
So that was the first squirrel event you've ever attended. What was your take on it, Shell?
It was an awesome little event.
Man, they had, I bet you there was close to 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And barbecue contest could learn a little something from that, because this was like a crowd-driven event. They, and I don't know how they get away with it. Because, that's always been the barbecue thing. Well, the local health departments won't let people share the food they're cooking.
Yeah, pass out samples.
Well, this event, they encourage the teams competing to pass out samples and to share what they're cooking with the crowd. And that's, it shows you what can happen if you do an event like that. You're going to get people to come and everybody's going to have a great time.
And they had several people that were just there to pass out.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah.
Like, so we went, we didn't compete. We just wanted to go and support them. And we cooked, I don't know how many pounds of jambalaya.
I know that we took 1,000 bowls and we were using an ice cream scooper for our jambalaya, and we ran out of bowls. We started using cups.
So, because we also did bullfrog.
So it turns out that was kind of we didn't think that one through.
Yeah. You made all the kids mad. Because kids walk by and they see this big old jug of delicious looking lemonade stuff, and man, they all want some, and it's adults only.
I will never do that again unless I have
something for the kids.
Unleaded version. Yeah.
People
would, and then adults would walk up to me, and because I wanted to make sure everybody knew. I was like, there's alcohol in this, or it's loaded, it's 21 and something like that. And some people would be like, heck yeah. And then some people were just disgusted.
How could you?
How dare you have alcohol?
Alcohol. Yeah.
It's dang good. I don't care what they say.
It was kind of a last minute decision.
The jambalaya was awesome. Like, it was really, really good.
Excellent.
And by the time we cooked the third batch, it was the best of the day.
So Mark's kind of had this recipe.
He's been working on nailing it down. It's more jambalaya for a crowd. And he's got one of those. It's a pretty good sized pot. It'll hold about 30 pounds of sauce. Let's say no. It'll do 10 pounds or 12 pounds of sausage, 12 pounds of chicken, 12 pounds of onions and vegetables, and then 12 quarts of broth and 10 and 12 pounds of rice. I think that's his ratios. So it makes a big pot.
It's a 5-gallon.
That's a 10.
Oh, it's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10-gallon pot. And it's got like a little jambalaya burner specific for it. And it's super easy to do. Super easy.
So did you watch how Mark did it?
Yeah, well, we prepped everything at first. So when we showed up, all your vegetables are chopped up, all your meat's cut up. So basically all you're doing is dumping. So you start with your sausage that's all, sliced up, and you put it in the pot first.
What kind of sausage are you talking?
We used Country Pleasing, and then we used some Conecuh too. The Conecuh kind of gives it a little smoky flavor, and the Country Pleasing is just the best.
I like the combo.
Yeah, it's a great combo.
So do you put anything? Does he start with oil in the pot?
No, you don't have to.
Because of sausage.
Yeah, so the goal is to get that pot flavored up. So you render down the sausage, you brown it up really, really good. You're almost going to think the sausage is overcooked because you're trying to pull everything from it. That's your flavoring. So whatever's in that sausage is going to be the first thing that's that you're going to taste in the jambalaya. And then after you get the sausage browned up, you take it out, put it in a pan with paper towel, and then leave the oil in the pot.
Okay.
Throw your chicken in. You don't season the chicken or anything. It's just cut up boneless, skinless thighs. And so when you get the chicken in there, you're getting all that flavor from the sausage. You're pulling out the flavor from the chicken. You're steady flavoring that oil that's in there, that fat. So once you get your chicken browned, and you're not like cooking it all the way done. You're just browning it up, and then you take it out. Then you put your vegetables in. And by that time, there's enough oil in the pot to saute the vegetables, and you're cooking them down. And once you get all that cooked down, you add your sausage back, you add your chicken back, you put your rice in, you stir it real good and get the rice kind of browned just a little bit, not much, and then you start adding your broth, and that's it. Once you get the broth in, you bring it back to a simmer, you put the lid on it, you pretty much cut the heat off, and it just needs to set.
How long does it typically set?
Usually about 20 minutes, and you flip it, and then you put—
What do you mean, just stir it?
Just kind of you gently bring the bottom up to the top and the top down to the bottom. If there's still maybe a little moisture in it at that point, but it's okay because that rice is going to absorb it. Then you usually let it sit about 10 more minutes. And Mark likes to, he learned this from Stale Cracker, but he likes to add cream of mushroom soup to, or you can add cream of mushroom, cream of chicken. And what that does, it kind of makes it a little creamy, but it just changes the texture of it. And that's probably not the traditional way to make jambalaya, but it makes it really, really, really good.
It's almost like a stick to your ribs jambalaya.
Yeah. And so all the moisture is absorbed by that. So what we did, we took the big meat bags that we have.
Well, did he season it at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I forgot about that part. It gets about almost a whole bottle of Killer Hog's hot sauce, and then about half a bottle of Worcestershire sauce. And then, man, I bet it's nearly a cup of Cajun seasonings.
But
like
this isn't
that's all it is. That's all the seasoning that's in it.
But this is for 10 pounds of rice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get, I mean, if you're just eating it, well over 100 servings. But if you're giving it out like samples, I mean, I bet you could get 300 to 400 out samples out of that. Like what we did, which was about probably like 3 ounces or something like that. It makes a lot.
So then,
but you can do the whole thing only takes about an hour. And so we did 3 rounds of that. And then we put them in the meat bags and dropped them in a cooler. Then when you get ready to serve it, you can just take that bag and put it in a pan, scoop it out, scoop it straight from the bag if you want to, but the cooler keeps it warm.
And the meat bag keeps it from messing up the cooler.
And the meat bag keeps it clean.
That's a really good recipe. That's a good recipe for tailgates.
Oh, it's excellent. Yeah, jambalaya. I mean, it's fantastic tailgate or any kind of crowd dish you got that the prep can be done at home. And then when you cook it on site, it's a fast cook and it feeds a lot of people.
And you don't have to bring a big setup to
no, really. I mean,
you got your burner, your pot.
That's all you need. Maybe some
paddle.
aluminum pans and your stirring paddle. Yeah. Something to scoop it with. But I love jambalaya. We didn't put squirrel in it. Everybody wanted to know, is the squirrel in it? Is the squirrel in it? It's like, no, we didn't have enough squirrel to go in that.
They were going to eat it anyway.
Everybody else was cooking squirrel. But this isn't just a squirrel cook. So there was guys, there's some crappie pole company. Man, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's probably on the World Squirrel Championship Cook-Off Facebook page. But it was like ACC crappie rods, or I know I'm getting the name wrong. But they were there cooking catfish and crappie. And I don't know how much fish they cooked, but we took 6 cases of Blue Plate they sent us to take.
Blue Plate tartar sauce.
Yeah, Blue Plate tartar sauce. And man, folks the way they were serving that, you got kind of a would you call it an open face fish sandwich?
So that's the one thing I went down and because I wanted to get like a shot of the Blue Plate. You know? But that's the one thing I went down and tried, and they put a piece of white bread, just old, sandwich bread, and then they'd put a piece of crappie on it, and then you topped it with your hot sauce and your tartar sauce, and it was almost like a
crappie fold over
taco.
It's taco-ish, but it's just folded one piece of bread sandwich.
It was good.
I if I got catfish left over from fish fry, it makes the best fold over sandwich like that. Cold piece of fried catfish with some Blue Plate tartar sauce on it, a little drizzle of hot sauce on a piece of white bread.
If the fish has been cooked right, cold fish is good.
I think they cooked 2 of those big Asian carps. I know they cooked like a rabbit dish, like a rabbit and rice. It's kind of like a jambalaya. There was somebody doing a gumbo. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff they were cooking. They cooked 2 or 3 wild hogs and a nilgai, which is—
I did try the nilgai.
It's a real big antelope. pretty much.
I did try the nilgai.
I didn't get a bite of it. Did you like it?
It tasted like a roast.
Yeah. So
It
they were
wasn't quite
making
venison flavor.
tacos with it.
Yeah.
And so they braised it all the way. They cooked it overnight, braised it down, and then shredded it.
I tried it before they braised it, after it had been smoked and fully cooked.
I've only
And
had
it had a good flavor.
So I've only had like the backstrap of it, and it is really, really good. Cooked medium rare. I've never had it like cooked that way. I didn't try that.
Where did
I didn't have time to try anything. I did try a crappie ceviche. Somebody brought me a bite of that to try it. It was really good.
Yeah, I was surprised you ate that.
Why?
Because you're weird about ceviche.
About raw fish?
Yeah. I thought it was
You brought me around to some of it. Like, I can do raw tuna now. Raw tuna is one of the finer things in life.
That guy said, try my crappie ceviche. And I was expecting you to be like, no.
I did try it. It was good.
It was good. I didn't have anything bad. I only tried a few things because we were so busy, but
We were there from probably 8 a.m. till
5.
probably 5.
6,
Yeah, because I did it right before we left. I jumped on a podcast with it was the Bear Grease podcast with Clay Newcomb, and he had a couple of his buddies on there, and then Joe from the Squirrel Cook-Off was there. The number one small game hunter in the world was there on the podcast with us, and the guy that he's actually his name I think is Clifton Jackson. He's a state biologist for Arkansas, but he's won the squirrel skinning contest like every time he's been in it, which I think it's like 4 or 5 years in a row. Nobody's beat him skinning a squirrel. And this year to win, he had to use his teeth.
Ugh.
And they asked him about
Oh, it wasn't required.
No, it wasn't required,
but
it was just like
gotta happen.
spur of the moment to get this off. I gotta grab it with my teeth, because he said something about the shoulder was bad on the squirrel he was trying to skin, and there wasn't no way to get it off with the knife he had, and he just ripped it off like an animal. I didn't see that in person, but I kind of want to now.
Hey, when you're the champion, you got to do what you got to do to stay on top.
How fast do you think you could skin a squirrel? He's like under a minute. Like, it's fast.
But I gotta incur time to look up a YouTube video.
Yeah. It's going to take me a minute to decide how I want to pick him up. Minimum,
Oh, yeah. Squirrel. Shell came in there and got me last night. She come running in the bedroom. I'm in there, got Sports Center. So, no, we're fixing to watch some of the debate. And she said, there's a frog in the house. There's a frog in the house. And I was like, what are you talking about? A frog in the house? She said, it's in the laundry room. It's in the laundry room. We got to get it. So I get up and run into the laundry room looking for this frog. And I'm moving, laundry basket around, the dog's water bowl. I'm like, where's this frog? Did he go up under the washer and dryer? Where's this frog? Because I saw this leaf sitting on the floor. And I was like, man, there's a leaf in here. There's a frog in here. What's going on? What's getting in our house? And finally, you come in there, and I can't find it. Where'd you see this frog? Where'd you see it? She said, it's right there. And it was a leaf, a brown leaf, and she thought it was a frog.
I didn't have my glasses on. The laundry room was dark. And when I noticed it, it was right by the deep freeze, and where it returned from the deep freeze, it was making it move just a little bit. So it looked like a frog doing like this. And I didn't give it too much thought. I just went,
oh no.
Your first instinct is not just to grab the frog and pitch him out. You draw the line at frogs.
I feel like that's your responsibility.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to argue. I wouldn't hesitate at all to go catch a frog.
If it comes to
Any kind of vermin
or creatures,
frog falls in the line of vermin.
I feel like
creatures and vermin.
If you weren't there, I would have figured something out.
Got the broom.
You just brushed him out. I would fully expected the cat to have been the one that brought it in. But I was like, the cats don't hardly mess with toads. It tastes bad to them. So I was like, something ain't right.
I remember Minnie picked up one day. She saw it hopping. She ran over there to it, picked it up, and then just spit it right back out and started.
What do you think it tastes like?
Must have been bad for her to spit it out.
You think it better hallucinate? Some of those frogs make you hallucinate, won't they?
I think some dogs will eat frogs, and it does make them sick. So,
really?
Yeah.
Back to the squirrel cook-off.
All right.
Got a little off track.
Nobody was cooking frog legs. I didn't see that. I saw.
I kind of like frog legs if they're cooked.
So you'll eat frog legs, but when it comes to a live frog, you don't want nothing to do with it.
That's kind of how I am. You go kill the animals, and I'll help you process them and cook them.
Once we get it skinned,
I could even help with that a little bit if I needed to. I'll stand there and hold something while you do it. No, but we passed out so much jambalaya, and everybody would come up there and say, what's this? What we got going on here? And you'd say chicken and sausage jambalaya. And at some point, Jamie just got tired of saying chicken and sausage jambalaya, and he just started saying beaver and rat jambalaya. He's making up stuff.
We had Michael,
turkey and
Michael said if he hears the word jambalaya one more time, he's going to get sick.
Because he was having to say it too.
He was having to say it too. We all were.
But it didn't matter what crazy thing Jamie said, they'd still go, oh, okay.
Okay, I'll try. It's proven fact. People will try anything if you give it to them like that, no matter what it is. I mean, they'll like it, but they'll try it.
We met the people that gave us Strait George.
Yes. And that was, so I had no idea. It was a man and his wife, and he said they were coming through, going to their daughter's track meet in Alabama, and they heard us talking about it. And there was a liquor store that had one where they live, and he said they wouldn't give it to him. So his wife worked for a company or has a capability of printing those things. So she printed that out and then put it in their car and drove it over here.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's where we got Strait George.
That's awesome.
He's like, we got a mutual friend. And I'm like, yeah, who? He's like, Strait George. And I was like, Strait George? Are you sure about that?
I don't know any straight.
No, and then I was like, oh. I put two and two together. They were the ones that gave it to us because we had no clue. It just showed up here at the office one day.
We were out when they dropped it off.
I think it had like an anonymous note on it or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I told him, I was like, that's one of the coolest things we've ever gotten. We use it all the time. We scare
He's
people with it.
Right now.
Yeah.
He didn't know it. He's a spokesman for barbecue. He didn't even know it. Probably don't need to tell him. Probably wants money.
Start getting some invoices.
Yeah. Don't use my name, image, and likeness without paying me.
That's why his name's Strait George.
It's really just a fan thing.
Mikey got to actually judge the Squirrel Cook-Off. Yeah. He said he had some really good stuff and
really, really bad stuff.
really, really bad stuff.
I would have been nervous because, like, when we did that podcast, Joe, he had mentioned that they had an ice cream dish and it had squirrel brains in the ice cream dish.
I heard it was delicious, though.
They said it was, but I wouldn't try it. And so the big thing was he had to kind of give a little disclaimer, hey, you're eating this at your own risk because it is brains. And brains have been, the biologist was kind of iffy on it. He said there was this time when this group of people all got this same disease, and it's a lot like mad cow disease, or, I forget what it's called, the actual name of it, but it affects your brain and there's no cure for it. And you get it from, they think you could get it from squirrels, but normally it comes from like hooved animals or animals, what do they call it? Ruminoids or rumids that they eat, they kind of regurgitate their food. Those species of animals get this disease. It can pass it on. It has been shown to pass on to humans. And so the small game hunter, the world's number one small game hunter, he told all of us in the podcast, there was one thing he says never, ever, ever do is eat the brains of any animal.
Really?
And he said he grew up eating them. But he said no longer, because that is the one place where you can get these prions or whatever, some kind of special proteins that only live in the brains of animals that can give you a disease that's not curable. It'll kill you. And so he got me gun shy. I've never eaten brains of anything.
Yeah, I'm a little gun shy of that too.
It's
one thing to get sick, like stomach sick. It's another thing to.
But I remember my papa eating
fried
brains and eggs. Yeah, it's a delicacy, squirrel brains and eggs, or even pork brains and eggs. But that's off my list. I will never eat that in my life.
Don't they use pork brains for cheese, or is hoghead cheese really hoghead?
Yeah, but it's not brain.
Okay.
It's just the meat of the head. It doesn't have brain in it. But public service announcement: don't eat brains of any animal.
Don't wash your chicken and don't eat brains.
Oh, did you? I saw you put have you looked at any comments on that, Tom?
I have.
Are they? So how is that going?
It is.
How is the comments on don't wash your chicken going?
Really divided. And
Some people
did not expect that. Yeah.
Oh, no, I fully expected it. There's a lot of people out there that'll.
Yeah, there's a good bit of people on there defending washing your chicken. How dare you say that? This is dangerous to spread misinformation. But then we have our people, the people that when I click on their name, it says follows you.
Yeah.
And they're all like, y'all are great. Why are y'all washing it? And then I thought I was going to have to hop in there and be like, That's why you cook it to this temperature. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you're going to eat it raw, you might as well wash it. Right?
Yeah.
If you're going to eat raw chicken, you might as well wash it.
Matters.
It probably don't.
Raw.
Yeah.
But then there are people on there that wash every meat. They'll wash all steaks. They'll wash brisket.
What?
Yep, everything.
People are washing steaks?
Could you imagine washing like a turkey in your sink or something like that?
I mean, I put it in brine. That's the closest I get to washing a turkey.
Yeah, it's
I don't understand. I really don't understand that, man. If you wash it, do they wash hamburger meat?
They said all meat.
Just wash it, huh?
But
there's no way you can wash hamburger meat.
If you can wash cheese, you could probably wash hamburger. Nasty.
It would feel like it would completely change the consistency.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought I was going to hop in there. It's popping off on Facebook for sure.
You should wash vegetables, but don't wash your meat.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't wash your meat.
Because vegetables, you don't have to cook up to 165.
Right.
You know?
Hey, you do you.
You do you. If you want to
wash that chicken.
Go for it.
Wash the crap out of that chicken.
And cook it to 200 degrees.
Friday night, we went out before the Squirrel Cook-Off, and we went to a Great American Steakhouse and Sports Theater. And Mikey convinced the people to let him cook his own steak in the kitchen.
He put a hair in it. The next thing I know, after we've been sitting there at the Great American Steakhouse and Sports Theater, he had a hairnet on.
Y'all do.
Doing what we do. Just, having
hanging
a few
out.
cold gold tops, hanging out, talking to everybody. Next thing I know, Mikey's putting a hairnet on and he's back in the kitchen cooking steaks. It was a really good steak. He brought it out to the bar we were hanging out at, and I was like, all right, Mikey, what are you going to do with it? And he said, I guess I'm going to take it home. I said, cut that joker up. We'll all eat it. So we fed everybody sitting around us, try Mikey's steak. It's probably the best steak come out of that kitchen all night.
Hey,
I'm sure they wanted to hire him.
I don't know.
A lot of baggage came with that.
I was like, how did you get them? How did you let them, let you back there to do that? He said, he asked them, they said no. He offered them $20. They said no. And he just kept going up till they
What did he get it to? $100?
I think it's like $100.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have kept going, man. That's crazy. If I was working.
Yeah. So if you were running the grill and it'd just say Longhorn, where you've worked before.
Yeah.
How much would you charge to let somebody go back there and cook their own?
Who is slightly inebriated?
No.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to.
That's a mild way to put it. I'm sure there's some I would hate to have to say on the waiver or something if I'd owned the place.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's an insurance liability, but I would make him feel comfortable, keep backing away a little bit, but be like, nah, not yet. Yeah. And just keep him coming up, because if he's drinking, it is what it is. But those guys back there never get tipped. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
They
looked at it as, we'll let this guy do the grill for a little bit.
Yeah, you want to do my job?
Yeah.
You want to take the trash out? You do that for $5. I would have wash some of these dishes for $10.
I recorded the whole thing, and the cooks weren't nervous or worried at all. They thought it was fun.
But the manager was.
But the manager was standing back there sweating bullets.
Because it's like you walk in this restaurant, and it's not like a super fancy place or anything.
It was a cool little joint.
Cool steak. I mean, it's what do you call it? Sports bar themed steakhouse.
Yeah.
It's the best steakhouse in a sports bar setting. But anyway, you walk in and there's the hostess stand, and then there's this glass window, and that's where the grill is. So they've got all the steaks that you can pick out of a meat counter. Oh. And then the grill's right behind this glass wall, and that's where they're cooking them. Yeah. A little bit you walk in Roadhouse and you see the little meat counter or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you can't really see them cooking the steaks. Yeah, here, it's full-blown view. At least you were behind glass.
That's crazy.
But he did it.
That manager couldn't wait to get him out of that kitchen.
No.
Well, he's not wearing non-slip
shoes. He's got to go. Non-slip shoes.
Next to
that was the last of their concerns. I don't think they gave him a knife or anything. So, but the grill's, I'm sure, really hot.
It was funny though.
He's a trained professional. He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, but they don't know that.
I've seen him go back in Hooters and cook wings before. He talked them out of a shirt and an apron and went back there and cooked some orders of wings.
Hopefully from the back, not the front.
It's kind of like, who's the guy that Guy Fieri, when he goes back in the kitchen and gets him to show him how to do it? Mikey just wants to cook it.
Redneck diner driving.
Yeah.
Mikey would be a great host for that. Yeah. So you got a new knife.
I did. I should have brought it in here. Man, the Montana knife. Yeah. So go grab that real quick, Tyler. We'll talk about it. But it's a Montana knife company. It's a chop. It's like a cleaver, but it is razor sharp. This is a cool knife. I hadn't even used it yet. I wanted to open it up on the podcast and show y'all what this knife is about, because I've been seeing them. But the crazy thing about these knives is, like, they only make so many, and they do these drops on them. And I tried to get on there because I really wanted one of the skinning knives, but this is it. It's working knives for working people. Montana Knife Company. And I hope y'all can see that, because this is a really cool knife.
Yeah, they reached out to me and they look awesome. Like the knife.
Oh, they're super. I've already opened it once and put it back. But this is how it comes. Sticker, little tie up, and then it's got this really cool scabbard.
Is that a cleaver?
Yeah. Watch me cut myself on camera. But,
is it black?
It's titanium. But man, it is razor sharp. Isn't that cool?
So what is?
Hang it up if you want to.
Oh, that is cool.
It is super lightweight. Well, but it's heavy. It feels good, but you can tell it's titanium, and it is like razor sharp.
Is that what makes them so
just handmade, custom made? They're made in the United States, and I don't know a whole lot about the Montana Knife Company other than they are making some really cool knives.
I know all their knives are made to not be replaced. So like you're going to spend a little bit of more money on them. They look really cool anyways, but you're never supposed to have to replace them. Yep. So,
and they sharpen really easy.
What's a little bit more money, just out of curiosity?
I think this was like $300.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
which is pretty high for a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really high. I don't have a $300. This is the only $300 knife I have. I've got a Shun that was like $200.
They have like smaller ones and stuff too.
Yeah. They've got like a whole culinary set. They do a lot of like hunting stuff, outdoors, and they do a lot of tactical stuff too. But they're making all these knives in Montana, I'm guessing, because it's the Montana Knife Company. But I'm fixing to.
Are you going to use it?
Yeah. It's going to the smokehouse. I just wanted before I did it on just had it on a video. I don't have a cleaver that I use regularly.
Yeah, you don't have you have an old one that maybe your granddad.
Yeah. But it's an old one.
That's more for
it's more show. But this one is slick.
So what are you going to cleaver?
Josh Smith is the master bladesmith that made it. I'm going to try to use it to slice tomatoes, because I see them doing that on TV. If it'll slice tomato and then hack a bone up, chop a butt, or something like that, that's what I'm going to use it for.
So, the other day, Southern Living released the South's best new barbecue joints of 2024.
How wrong did they get this? It's Rendezvous?
New.
Okay, new.
It had to be open like within that year.
Yeah.
Within a year, I guess.
So okay.
I didn't even realize, and it's 22 different restaurants. I didn't even realize 22 different barbecue restaurants opened.
Oh, yeah.
In 2024
Barbecue's
in the South.
Hot. I bet you there's new ones popping up all over the place.
I wasn't going to go through the whole list, but I was going to.
Any notable ones that you've recognized that we need to go to?
Hold on. Hooley Sue's, Asheville, North Carolina, was 22.
Never heard of it.
Lechon Latin Barbecue and Bar. Lechon.
That sounds more French.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to butcher some of these names. I already know it. Slow Fire Barbecue in Savannah.
I've heard of that.
La Vertica Barbecue in Florida. And that one has Peruvian flavors. There's a lot of like influence, like
it's not your classic Southern barbecue.
Yeah. Fusion type stuff. Owens and Hull in Smyrna, Georgia. Reese Brothers Barbecue, San Antonio, Texas. Smoking Buttheads Barbecue in South Carolina. Tropical Smokehouse in Florida. Rancho Lewis. That's John Lewis's. He opened another one.
Second place?
Yeah, in Charleston.
Is it kind of like, is it Mexican themed?
It says it's his second Charleston restaurant, and he brings that border cuisine from his native El Paso.
Gotcha. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Leroy.
Tex-Mex barbecue.
Yeah, Tex-Mex barbecue, which I'm a fan
down
of.
with that.
Yeah. Leroy and Lewis Barbecue in Austin. Longleaf Swine in Raleigh. Bringle's Smoking Oasis. Did you know Carrie Bringle opened another one in Nashville?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So
he's got peg leg, and now this is Smoking Oasis.
Yeah.
What's it themed? Just like
Texas style Haven featuring beef ribs, slow smoked brisket, and jalapeno sausage. So
his other one's more pork driven.
Yeah, and
that's
this
where
is
you're
more
getting whole
Texas.
hog and
yeah,
ribs and chicken.
Yeah, we've tried peg leg a couple times. It's good. We need to go try.
It's classic.
Bringles.
It's classic barbecue.
Yeah, classic. They do. Is that where they do the redneck tacos? That's Martin. Then they're number 10, Redemption Barbecue in Virginia. Brisket and Rice in Houston. Jack's Creek Barbecue in Jack's Creek, Tennessee.
That's not a new one. That's a new owner.
So the small white building housing Jack's Creek's Barbecue is not at all new. Neither is the name.
It just made the list.
It operated for 70. It was just so good it made the list. It operated for 70 years.
That's the first barbecue I think I've ever remember having in my life. Jack's Creek. Grew up on it. And it's fantastic.
That's
kind of what sparked my love of barbecue. That style. And it's a Carolina style of barbecue that they kind of migrated to West Tennessee. And they do it fantastic. They used to, the original place was amazing. I hadn't been to since they changed ownership. Because it did close for a little bit.
Yeah. Did you know?
Well, it closed for a little bit, and I think it sold instead of just, getting away with the business.
Mm-hmm.
Someone new bought it, opened it back up under the original name, and hopefully they're still doing hogs on the weekends.
Zach Parker, he owns B.E. Scott's Barbecue in Lexington. He opened it in May 2023.
There's some definitely names I've never heard of on there, so that's interesting.
Blake's at Southern Milling in Martin, Tennessee. Dane's Craft Barbecue in Texas.
Any in Memphis?
Not so far. We're number 5. King Barbecue in South Carolina. And this one is kind of a traditional Chinese American barbecue mixed with barbecue.
Really?
Yes.
That's super interesting there now.
I would love to try that. Number 4, City Limits Barbecue in Columbia, South Carolina. It looks pretty standard. Number 3, Mama Jean's in Roanoke, Virginia. Number 2, Barb's Barbecue in Lockhart, Texas. Woman owned.
Barb.
Yeah. A woman pitmaster there. And number 1 is Palmyra Barbecue in Charleston, South Carolina.
So I saw the TikTok on this place. I had no idea it was on your list, and I was going to talk to you about that. The special is beef cheeks, and they do beef ribs. I think they had pork ribs too, but it seemed more of a kind of a Mexican influence on barbecue, and it looks incredible. If you go to their TikTok page and check out, I guess it's probably I just put in Charleston barbecue joints, and it was the first one that popped up, but it looks incredible. What's it called? Palerma, or how do you pronounce it?
Palmira. It said it combines South Carolina, Texas styles with accents from his native Puerto Rico.
Oh, so it's not Mexican; it's Puerto Rican influenced. Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Instead of brisket, he serves smoked beef cheeks, so tender they almost melt on the tongue.
I want to try it, man. I want to go. I've been wanting to go to Charleston. I've never been. Here's another reason. Food crawl in Charleston.
Oh, I've been wanting to do that. I actually had a whole trip for us planned, and we couldn't go because we had to go to the Squirrel Cook-Off or something.
Would you rather go to Charleston than you had the Squirrel Cook-Off?
The Squirrel Cook-Off was a great little event.
I would put it on the calendar for next year.
Yeah.
If you have never been to a Squirrel Cook-Off, you need to get to one. And there was people from all over the U.S., and there were some people from the U.K. that came, Canada. Mm-hmm. I mean, this wasn't just like a local event. And I really thought that was cool because we were doing this podcast, and it's inside like this. How would you describe that place?
It's like a nature center.
Yeah, it's like a nature center. It's like a little museum with a gift shop and classrooms and stuff like that. But they had these like couches in there, and that's where they had this podcast set up. And so there was like 3 of us on one couch, 3 of us on the other couch, and they let spectators come in and just kind of stand behind us.
Was that couch crowded?
It was pretty crowded, but I would say there's at least 100 people standing around watching inside this little, foyer room kind of entryway where these couches were. And the host of the show asked the crowds, like, how many people's from Arkansas? Because we're in Arkansas doing the Squirrel Cook-Off. You don't think I don't even know if there was one person that raised their hand.
Really?
It was all people from out of state that came, and that's probably why they were standing around watching a podcast, but because most of the locals were probably outside eating squirrel. But it was amazing to see how many people actually traveled for that event. So they're doing an awesome job getting the word out and, having something that's unique especially to their area. Who would have knew squirrel hunting was that big a deal?
It's just unique and interesting, and there was so much more to do there. Like they had a little BB gun competition for the kids.
Yeah. There was 1,200 kids shot in this BB gun air rifle competition, and it was just open to the public. Whoever showed up, you could go sign in and shoot. And they were giving away awards. I think they had an adult division too. I didn't go in there, but I guess the Daisy and Crossman BB and air rifle companies from in that part of the country is why they sponsored that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Me and Michael walked around and we're getting some footage and things like that. And I was just like, this is such a great little event. I was like, they could really, if they got a good corporate sponsor in here. And then I was like, nope. That's how they would ruin it. Yeah.
I got my picture with a goat. They had some pack goats there that they use. I guess they use them for packing stuff in the mountains over there in the Ozarks. Like the guy said, if we go bear hunting, if we go, deer hunting over there and you need to pack the animals out, these goats, they have these bags, these like saddle bags on them, pack them down and march them out. And they use them, I guess they use them for like search and rescue or something if they had to get some equipment in somewhere. But I was amazed by, what did he say? That goat weighed about 180 pounds and it could pack about 50 pounds of weight on it.
Yeah.
And they could they live like 18 years. And he said they can do it their full life. He said they do slow down a little bit as they get older, but they still all the way up to their full lifespan. They're packing.
That's a long lifetime.
That was a long lifetime.
For a goat. That one goat.
I know a goat lived 18 years.
Yeah. He didn't have ears. And I said, where's his ears? And he said, that's just their genetics. That's how they're bred. I didn't know if they docked them or his had fallen off or what, but that's just how they are.
Fake Gene Simmons was there. I thought that was a little odd.
I saw that.
Did you get a picture of him?
I got a video, yeah.
I don't think I took a picture with fake Gene Simmons.
You didn't.
Full makeup, high-heeled stack boots.
Was his tongue really long? Or
oh, yeah. No, he had the long tongue and everything. Or at least he was sticking something out and taking pictures of people. I just thought that was odd. At the end of the day, I just saw him sitting on a bench over there. Gene Simmons must be tired.
He was
He partied all night.
I said, Michael, you want a picture with Gene Simmons? First of all, he's like, what is this? He didn't know.
He didn't know who Gene Simmons was. He's like, what's up with this goth guy? He's really committed, ain't he? He was hot in the 70s.
So I've got some questions for you from the community.
Let's do them.
So Dan, he said he's been using pellet grills for years. He's just getting into charcoal grilling with a Weber. He wanted to know, is it worth adding a drum?
So I always say their drums are one of the more inexpensive smokers. You can even build one yourself. Pretty easy to build, but you're going to get the most authentic flavor in barbecue out of a drum just because that meat's dripping down on those coals and the distance between where the cooking grate is and the fire is enough to where you're not grilling, you are smoking. I absolutely love drums. I love the flavor you get off of them. The only drawback is, you're cooking on usually a 22-inch rack. So, you're not going to.
Same as the Weber.
Yeah, it's the same as a Weber. So it's exact same rack. That's the rack. When I build them, that's what I use. You can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store that sells grilling supplies usually has a replacement Weber rack.
So is it hard to learn to cook on a drum?
Not really. Most of the ones that I've cooked on or built, even the homemade jobs, they like to cook around 275. It's harder to check them back to get them to, you're not really low and slow, like super low and slow. 275 is still low and slow. But the great thing about it is you can go fast. You can go hot and fast on them. So there's a lot of, you look at all the people out in the competition world that's cooking on drums, especially KCBS contests. There's a ton of them. And they're able to cook a butt in 4 or 5 hours, a brisket flat, 4 or 5 hours. Ribs in a couple hours. That's pretty awesome that you can cook that.
Well, you can buy 4 drums.
Oh yeah, way cheaper than you could buy a big stick burner.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a pit dedicated for each protein.
So is it worth it to invest?
Absolutely. I'm never going to talk you out of buying it. The How to Barbecue Right podcast is brought to you by our friends at Primo Grills. Shell, did you know that Primo is the only ceramic grill made right here in the good old USA?
What? Are you telling me that Primo grills are proudly crafted here in the USA, ensuring top-notch quality and support for local craftsmanship?
I sure am. Plus, Primo Grill not only delivers mouth-watering flavor, but because of their innovative oval design and superior ceramic construction, Primo Grills also gives you a ton of cooking versatility.
Whether you're smoking low and slow or searing a steak to perfection, Primo Grills gives you the consistent heat distribution for mouth-watering results every time.
What she said, y'all. Y'all visit primogrill.com and check them out.
So when's Malcom going to do some content with the rotisserie on the Primo?
Did they send us a rotisserie attachment?
I think so. Yep. We got to get to it.
I need to do that. I put it on my list. I hadn't even played with it, honestly. I don't use a rotisserie very often. I used to, flipping chicken, but...
What if you rotisserized a turkey? Could you do that? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I'm sure the motor's strong enough to spin a turkey.
Maybe
especially like a
turkey?
10-pounder.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a rotisserie turkey this year?
I just popped in my head. I don't know.
That's where ideas are born.
Ideas are born. Rotating turkey. I could definitely do it.
Do you think it would turn out?
Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't.
You get kind of crispy skin all the way around, maybe?
It's definitely worth an experiment to see what rotisserie. I've never done it. I've done it with chickens.
I know whole chickens turn off really good.
I've done like 3 on a spit before. So if it'll spin 3 chickens, it'll definitely spin a turkey. You probably have to tie it up a little bit just to keep it tight so the spit doesn't slip. But because you want to keep it flipping. But I don't see why it wouldn't work. I mean, the only drawback I could see is, it's a lot of high heat, so it's cooking more outside in, and the turkey's so big that to get the inside really done, the outside is going to be,
a little more,
really more. So it might take a little playing with it to see. But again, there's probably people out there that's done it, so I watch some videos and get some tips and give it a shot and see if that experiment will work.
I think it's worth a shot. I'm kind of curious. I want to see what the skin would turn out.
Yeah.
Everybody's always wanting.
I like rotisserie chicken, so I've never had rotisserie turkey. Do they even sell like sliced deli rotisserie turkey?
I'm not.
I see mesquite smoked and honey turkey and oven baked and roasted, but I've never seen like rotisserie because they have rotisserie chicken.
Oh yeah, rotisserie chicken. But I think that's more of a marketing title than anything. So Megan posted a photo of doing your jalapeno chicken bites, but she posted them and served them with a side of a jalapeno popper cucumber salad.
Oh.
It looked so good.
What makes it jalapeno popper?
I have no
cream
idea.
Cheese in the salad?
It was creamy.
Yeah.
It looked like thinly sliced cucumbers.
Like blue plate mayo based?
Maybe. It was creamy.
I've had like sliced cucumbers and onions with like a creamy sauce and some dill.
Yeah. You do one.
It's just vinegar.
Yeah, you use vinegar and is it tomatoes?
No.
Onions?
Sometimes I put tomatoes in it, but mainly it's just vinegar and cucumbers and onions.
It's really good. I like that one too.
A little black pepper, a little bit of salt, and just it's not really a pickle, but it's kind of pickled. You know what I mean? Because of the vinegar. Maybe? Yeah, it's kind of a quick pickle. They don't get crunchy, and it doesn't keep very long either. So when you mix it up, let it sit in the refrigerator for like a couple hours, and then it's ready to eat. But like the next day, they'll get mushy. Yeah. But they're really good. It's like vinegar cucumbers is what I call them.
You do. So you've done it before, and then when we served it with tomatoes, and it's so good with that vinegar element and the cucumbers and onions go with the sliced
really
tomatoes.
Good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jerry, he did your pickled red onions. He said this is the first time he's ever done it, but he used King Crawl instead of salt and pepper. He used this good amount of crushed red pepper.
That's a good idea.
Like
Cajun kind of flavored pickled red onions.
I'd try that.
I've never put anything else in it except salt and sugar and a pinch of red pepper. That's all I've ever put in them.
You've never tried to take them Mexican?
I never have. But I don't see why you couldn't. It's a good idea, really.
I think it's a good idea too.
I'll have to try that and see if it really adds flavor. I mean, I imagine it does. I love pickled red onions.
I do too.
They go good with barbecue. They go good with fried fish. I mean, they go great on tacos. I'm trying to think of what else they go with. I mean, heck, I like them on vegetables. Like if I'm eating brown beans or peas or something like that, those pickled red onions just go with it. Turnip greens.
Somebody asked us one time, do you always serve pickled red onions with like anytime you do a buffet or anything?
Yeah. Why not?
Always.
Sometimes they're
flavor.
chopped, like diced. Sometimes they're half moon. Sometimes they're rings. Kind of change up how I cut them up depending on what I'm serving. But it's a great little accompaniment. It's almost like if you chop them up, they're like it's like a pickle relish.
Yeah,
almost.
To me that's better for tacos.
Yeah,
maybe
tacos,
sandwiches, or
even
something.
hot dogs. They're good on hot dogs.
That'd be a good recipe to do some sort of hot dog using the red onion. Maybe have a special sauce and.
I'd have to look.
Some crispy jalapenos or something on it. I don't know.
It gives a nice little vinegary, sweet snack crunch.
It gives a lot of flavor.
Taste like onion.
Yeah, it gives a lot of flavor to me. Like on a pulled pork sandwich. What are you writing? Ideas. So Nax Country Cooking posted a picture. They did jerk chicken bites. I
saw that too. That was a good looking recipe.
So they took boneless, skinless chicken thighs, cubed it up, seasoned it with jam and jerk, rotisserized it, burned and turned it. Yeah, skewered it, burned and turned it, and pulled it off. And then they served it. They put a piece of mango on top and served it like on a little skewer.
So it was like an appetizer bites.
Yeah.
Was it mango or pineapple?
It was mango.
It was mango?
I glanced at it and thought it was pineapple at first, and then I read the description.
Mango is one of those things.
You'd rather have the pineapple?
Yeah, I'd rather have pineapple. I ain't gonna knock mango too bad, but sometimes it's a little, I don't know, musty or something.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially like in the artificial flavoring. Like if you get mango flavored stuff, like fresh mango is not as bad if it's ripe than like the flavored stuff. But I've gotten some mango stuff. I was like, ooh, this is kind of musty.
What were we eating in Jamaica that was falling from the tree?
Fresh mango.
Oh, okay. It was fresh mango.
Yeah, those are good. They're sweet.
Okay.
I would try it. I'm not going to knock it.
Oh, yeah. But I'm with you.
Like
I'd rather have the pineapple.
Yeah. I love jerk, though.
Huh?
I love the jerk flavors. It's so good.
Got
a little sauce, a little glaze to go. Did he glaze it with something?
Mm-mm.
It was just jerk seasoning?
We've done this several times, especially to pass out at different events. Take chicken thighs, cube them up, season them with jam and jerk, grill them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good, and it's so simple. You need to turn that into a recipe. We've never
I've never done
it
for a recipe, but man, you do it, serve it with that calypso sauce for dipping. Or you could do a little pineapple glaze and then add some fresh pineapple to it too. It would be jamming.
Rampage Barbecue, they had bought a Wagyu hanger steak from
you're eating good.
from the
Was it
Butcher
from Kevin?
Shoppe. Yeah. And he said the reads were correct on the Butcher Shoppe. It was not a meal, it was an experience.
Kevin don't miss. Man, it don't miss. If you get it from there, it's awesome. I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we're working on dates.
We're going to talk what it's like to start a butcher shop with him, hopefully.
I want to talk to him about where he's getting the Wagyu and what he thinks is the best.
Tell you that.
Well, maybe not where he's getting it, but what he thinks is the best. And,
hanger steaks, man. If you've never tried hanger steak, it's beef. It eats, a lot like a ribeye or something like that, but it's intensely beefy. And it doesn't have a ton of fat at all. It's just soft, and the texture of it's amazing. And I love hanger steak.
You've always said that the lesser cuts are better
from the
Wagyu. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had just like a regular hanger steak from anywhere. I don't even know where you'd buy it. I've only had the Wagyu because you just don't see it. I guess it's been on restaurant menus before. Maybe I may have had it in a restaurant, but that's like at the grocery store, they're not going to find a hanger steak. Or at least at Kroger, you're not.
What is a hanger steak?
It comes from like the front quarter area. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure what muscle the real name's called.
Gotcha.
But it's usually butchers keep it for themselves. Kind of like a hidden gem.
So Jim had a question about barbecue meatloaf. He was, instead of using just all ground beef, he was thinking about taking the casings off brats and using that in the mixture. I think that would be delicious.
For a burger?
Meatloaf.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting texture. Brats have their own,
I like the flavor of it.
Yeah, yeah. That would probably make a pretty good meatloaf.
I mean, it wouldn't be traditional.
Mm-mm. But I've added pork in meatloaf before, and it does fine, and brats are pork, so it's going to give it a little different flavor because you're going to get that brat flavor in it, but I think the texture would be pretty good.
I bet it would make a heck of a meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah.
A brat meatloaf sandwich.
You can buy that bulk, like Johnsonville sausage like that, or either
I've seen that.
Store-bought bratwurst that's not cased. You could definitely use that in it.
Without having to take the time to bust it open. When you did brat burgers, I guess you couldn't find it. You had to bust the casings open.
Yeah, and it makes a really good burger like that.
I love those brat burgers. So much more flavor than just plain old ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm trying to think, would you serve that with like a mustard and peppers and onions?
Yeah.
If you did a meatloaf that way? Have you ever had a meatloaf with like a mustard glaze?
No.
No, I bet it'd be good though.
I love the peppers and onions and mustard glaze idea.
On a slice of bratwurst meatloaf.
I'm telling you, make a great sandwich.
Yeah. telling you.
Put that on your list. Because I just want to try it.
Brat loaf.
Brat loaf.
That sounds very good.
Brat loaf.
Brat loaf. The worst.
The worst. So Anthony was talking about he had smoked and reverse seared like a really thick steak, and he had some left over. How should he reheat it? His options are oven, microwave, and back on the smoker. I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
Microwave.
Microwave. Yeah, I mean,
There's no good answer.
There's no good way to reheat steak. I mean, it's always going to overcook it. You're going to turn it gray. I mean, I've done it like in a Ziploc bag inside the microwave, just kind of leave it vented a little bit and try to do it fast and not overcook it. Because if you go throwing it in the oven or throwing it back on the grill, it's just going to overcook it. There's no good way to do it.
My two favorite ways to use leftover steak is to cut it up and either throw it in some eggs, like at the last minute when eggs are almost done, and have steak and eggs, or kind of same thing, throw it in a pan, lightly cook it.
It does better. Go ahead and slice it. Don't try to.
I'll go ahead and slice it and use it for like a steak sandwich or something.
Yep.
There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna change the color of it. It's not gonna be as good, but I mean,
it'll still eat.
It'll still eat. Yeah, it'll still eat. But in something, it works better. You know what I've used?
Steak and scrambled eggs is pretty good.
It's really good, but it also makes good like vegetable soup.
Oh yeah.
We've had leftover steaks, and I mean, all the time you don't eat the whole steak. Well, I've cubed it up, and then when I make a soup with it, put that in there, and you get that grilled flavor in it. It makes it really good, really, really good.
It adds like you said, an
depth of flavor to it. Yeah. Instead of using like ground beef,
you could do
or
that
roast or something like that. You've got that grilled flavor going in, and it cooks down, and they get super tender and melt in your mouth. You know.
You could do that in chili too.
Yeah, you could cut it up and put it in chili, steak chili.
It's about chili season.
Man, you said it the other day because the weather turned a little bit when we were in Arkansas. And it's like, it's feeling like chili season.
I love a good pot of chili on a Sunday afternoon.
I think Friday's high is like 68. So.
Oh, really?
We've got a hurricane coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's looking like it's pushing a little east of us. Maybe we'll probably get some remnants of it. They're calling for, like 4 inches of rain, possibly.
Here?
Yeah. We'll see if it gets it.
Is it going to be worse like on the coast area?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but they're hyping it up to be,
scary.
Yeah.
I think it's just where it's hitting.
I guarantee you people down in Louisiana and South Mississippi just partying. They're not going to let it. They're probably going to be mad because the Saints ain't going to play.
Oh, did they cancel the game?
They're watching it, and I think all the college and pro games they're in the area of it are definitely watching it, keeping an eye on it. I mean, it's serious. I know we laugh and joke about it because we like to party when it comes to hurricane time, but it does do a lot of damage and can cost lives too. So definitely be aware of it if you're in the area where we're fixing to get hit. But I think it's coming later, like Wednesday, early Thursday morning in those hours, all day Thursday. and then it'll be cleared out probably from us on Friday. Hopefully.
What's the weather going to be like on Sunday? Have you looked that far into the weekend?
I haven't even looked.
I know it's supposed to stay like relatively cool. Like I know it doesn't get above 85. Like,
yeah, we're done with summer temps.
That's it. I'm cooking chili on Sunday.
Cooking chili Sunday?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Heck yeah. Football and chili. Speaking of football, man, I got my butt kicked in my fantasy.
How are you doing?
I lost by, I think I had 127.75, and the guy I was playing had 128.35. So what is that? It's like 25 and 35, whatever that is.
That's great.
60.60 is what I lost by.
Which
and I had in my Ribs and Whiskey League.
Okay.
It's a Yahoo League. But I had it beat because I had San Francisco's defense playing. And at one point there at the end, I had a 1-point lead. And that's the bad thing about relying on the defense, because if they give up it was like a late cushion touchdown for the Jets, but it dropped my points down to a point, and I lost. And that's a hard beat. That's a hard one to lose there.
That sucks.
I think I'm going to start charting your like enthusiasm and excitement for like fantasy football.
It dwindles down.
Because it's like here, and then it shoots up here.
Yeah,
and then it shoots right down to the bottom.
I'm horrible in season management. I like drafting. I like all that goes with it. And I like the first couple of weeks, and then my team dives, and they just take my money.
Didn't you have someone on your bench that got like 30-something?
Oh, yeah. No, I had some good players. They're just on the bench. Story of my fantasy football career. Tyler was the genius. He drafted – when you drafted the Cowboys – so we got a work league too, kind of. And so Tyler drafted the Cowboys at like, what, third or fourth round? There's like nobody's even thought about taking defense.
I want to know
Tyler
the thought
says,
process behind drafting the Cowboys defense, third or fourth round. I mean, it's paid off this week.
If you knew that, why didn't you put like $1,000 on the Cowboys last year?
I know.
Because their defense scored like, what, 30 points or something like that?
I think it got worse, like you said, like if they lose yards and stuff like that, then it goes down. So it did end up going down a little bit. I think it ended up with like 18 or 19, but so for the past 2 years, like 2 years ago, I got stuck with the Cowboys defense in my head. I was like, I don't want these. Like, I think I wanted the Patriots or something, which was even more silly. But anyways, and they consistently were putting like 30 points, 31 points, like insane points. And I would win like every week. Like I was having like crazy luck, and it was because of them. And so this year I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take them because they're like the second pick for defense. I think over the Ravens is probably the only other team, but so it paid off. Yeah. It was.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, I mean,
how many more rounds did it take for someone else to choose a defense?
Oh, the last.
So you could have put
15 rounds. Defensive kickers go 14th and 15th.
I texted Mikey and I was like, I bet y'all are all sitting there thinking, why did Tyler? Yeah, he was like, yeah,
I did. I was like, oh, he must have had that on auto pick. Like the computer did that. No, Tyler had a strategy. Watch him score.
It's working.
30 points this week with the defense. Here I am trying to get my running backs, and they don't even give them the ball. But no, McCaffrey, oh, he's out. We're not going to play him. He's the number one pick in just about everybody's fantasy league. He didn't even play. I don't think he's going to play this week, which is a good thing for my Vikings.
Oh, are they playing the Vikings this weekend?
Vikings look good.
They did. I'm not
dropping dimes.
They did look good. I was like,
Arnold the dime dropper. How long do you think that's going to last?
Like, this is not what I'm used to watching.
Yeah. My buddy went to the Saints game.
Look good.
And they look really good.
The Saints, oh, yeah. Saints put up a bunch of points, too.
I didn't watch that one.
It was like 47-10.
I know what else I'm cooking on Sunday.
What's that?
I'm firing up my swamp bucket. So I bought a swamp bucket.
Have you seen one of these, Tyler?
It's a 5-gallon bucket.
It's the biggest gimmick.
You don't know. It might be great.
The biggest gimmick.
It's like a 5-gallon bucket with a heating element in it.
Oh. So imagine a hot eye like you get in the dorm for cooking ramen noodles. They put one of these at the bottom of a bucket, and they drilled a hole and put like a grommet or something, and that's how they run the cord out. And you're supposed to fill it up with water and turn that element on, and it'll boil anything you want, right?
I bought it
in a bucket.
I bought it specifically for peanuts because I want to try.
Oh, so that's what your plan was?
Peanut recipe,
Cajun style hot boiled peanuts, or barbecue style, or just plain.
I'm up. I can try them all different ways.
Over under on time it takes to boil peanuts in a 5-gallon bucket. I'm betting it's going to take 36 hours.
It sounds like a TikTok shop purchase or something.
Where did you get it? On Amazon?
It was Amazon, but TikTok got me. Yeah.
So can you cook? I mean, you're supposed to be able to like boil anything. Like you can boil crawfish or shrimp or
it's a multi-tool.
potatoes.
It's going to change our cooking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can boil anything. It's kind of like for a shrimp bowl or yeah.
Let's don't do it inside the house. Let's don't do that on the counter. Let's take it outside if we're going to do it.
You're going to be like, these are the best boiled peanuts I've ever had.
I can't wait.
I mean, if it boils fast, that's awesome. Because I don't know if y'all remember when we did the pasta cook-off here. I brought one of those burners that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it took me like 45 minutes to get water boiled. Like it took forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many? So you're going to have to put at least a gallon of water in it with your peanuts.
I got to read the directions. I have not gotten.
Does it come with directions to boil peanuts in it?
I mean,
or is this just like, okay. Oh, this is going to be a nailed it. I got a feeling.
You should be recording this time.
Yeah, I need to be the camera guy on this one. Shells boiled peanuts in a bucket.
I love boiled peanuts. Growing up, we used to always boil peanuts. Love it.
There's kind of love them or hate them.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. Yeah.
And if you like,
some people think they're slimy and
just wet and soggy. Like I love peanuts. Don't get me wrong, peanuts are great. And
what, you think they're slimy and gross too, Tyler?
Yeah, like my wife force fed them to me. We stopped somewhere in Florida and bought some.
Yeah.
The whole way up, she was like, just try another one. Try it. And I just kept going. And I was like,
does she like them?
She does. She loves them. Grew up eating them. Can't stand them.
Yeah. I think it's either you love them or you hate them.
It is. I'd much rather have roasted peanuts.
Yeah.
Parched peanuts.
They're so salty and soft and delicious.
Okay. So like, it riddled me this. Maybe it's not everybody. Do you eat the shell too?
Not usually. No.
She was
She don't eat the shell, does she?
Whole
No way.
thing popping in her mouth.
Heck of a lot of fiber right there.
Yeah. What does that do to you?
I wouldn't do that on a road trip.
No. I don't even know. I don't know about that, Tyler.
I have seen people eat the shell.
Yeah. I think have y'all seen the deep fried peanuts? Mm-mm. I've had those. I mean, I don't even know where I got them.
Oh, yeah, they're shell on.
Yeah, it's shell on. It's super crispy. It's salty. It's flavored up. They were really good. I ate the shell on those. They were crunchy, but they kind of disintegrated in your mouth like a chip would. A bowl of peanut shell is just like a bunch of fibery strings.
It is.
It's like eating a ball of yarn or something.
Yes. A ball of yarn.
I was like,
tree bark.
It wasn't necessarily the flavor. It was just like,
it's a lot to chew there, isn't it? A lot to chew. You just end up just swallowing this mass because you never get it broke down.
Yeah, it's like stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, it's all stuck.
It was not appetizing.
These are great. Boiled peanuts.
You're going to enjoy some this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I
just got to figure out where to buy some peanuts.
Co-op.
Oh, they have raw peanuts?
Guarantee you Charles got them at Tri-County. It's probably time for them to get all the peanuts in. I've been seeing them pile them up. Have you seen the fields where they grow the peanuts over down there, Tate County? They'll have these big, I don't know what it is. It almost looks like a bag, but it's yards long. And I guess when they harvest them, they blow them in there, and then the truck comes and gets them out of that some kind of way. But they'll just be out in the field in this big row looking. It's not like a module for cotton, but it's something similar. It's housing all of them, but they're starting to get all that stuff in.
So it's peanut season.
Yeah. It's peanuts, corn, and soybeans, and cotton.
And I'm guessing I need green peanuts for this.
Yeah.
I got to research it.
Yeah, you can't buy like salted roasted ones.
Yeah.
You got to start with the raw green peanut. They may sell them at Kroger in like a bag more manageable for you because like Co-op's going to have 50 pounds.
Yeah, I don't need the Co-op size.
But I think he'll sell you how many ever pounds you want because I've seen them sitting there.
I'm going to do some research and be ready for Sunday.
I just know I've tried it. I've tried to do them before. It's done them in a crock pot.
Yeah.
It takes a long time in a crock pot.
I tried to do them on the stove one time. It just didn't work.
I'm no peanut boiler.
But, Mal, that's all I have for you this week.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that video.
Tyler.
Do we have anything going on in the community right now, Tyler? I know we just wrapped up that big Primo giveaway.
Yeah, just wrapped up the big Primo giveaway. We're kind of gearing up towards our next one. But in the meantime, if y'all head on over to facebook.com/group/H2Q community, we have tons of like awesome people hanging out there, sharing recipes, asking questions. You can help answer the questions. You can ask your own questions. Some of the questions we got here today for the show were featured from that Let's Get to Cooking community.
Absolutely.
You know, I like the community a lot because it's not angry or mean or if you ask a question, people are going to give you a pretty good answer, you know? There's no
No drama.
No drama, no negativity.
You go to some of my deer hunting groups I'm in. Oh, it's all drama.
And it's people being mean to each other. Oh,
You don't like meanies?
No. What's the point? Why be mean?
You're right. Life's too short to be mean.
Yeah. Anyway,
where can they find us, Show? We're getting off in left field here.
If you would like to connect with Malcom, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Well, we will see y'all next week. We come back to talk about more stuff. We're going to talk about boiled peanuts. In-depth review of Shell's boiled peanuts.
And chili.
Next week. And chili. I don't know if that goes together, baby. Chili and
You
peanuts.
don't have to eat them at the same time.
Okay.
You're going to have the peanuts for breakfast and the chili for lunch.
All right. On that note, we will see y'all next week. We gone. Peanuts for breakfast.